Boys and girls, do you love to go and look at the giant pumpkins that we often find around in the fall? Well, this is a great book about a girl, Mildred, who wants to grow a giant pumpkin. 4 years ago, her mother died, and her mother had always wanted to win the city's pumpkin growing contest. Well, Mildred is determined that this is the year she's going to win. Her Aunt Arlene thinks that she should be more concerned about fancy school clothes and doing things that the other girls do. But Mildred, along with help from her friend Jacob, is determined to grow the largest pumpkin ever. I learned a lot about growing pumpkins. Did you know that you really need a certain kind of seed and that you have to watch for little cracks in the pumpkins and keep them covered when the sun is really hot? In this book, Me and the Pumpkin Queen, you can learn about growing pumpkins and what it's like to be in a pumpkin growing contest. When the weigh-in comes, do you think Mildred will be a winner, or is she gonna be disappointed again? Check out Me and the Pumpkin Queen.
Students, this is a great new book at your fall book fair. Raymond and Graham rule the school. They are the big fourth graders, which is the highest grade at that elementary school. They have looked forward to this point in their lives for years. Unfortunately, they find out they've both been assigned Mrs. Gibson, the oldest, the scariest, the creepiest teacher of all times, the one that they had wanted to avoid at all costs. Is their fourth year a total bust? Is it going to be their worst year ever, or could it possibly be their best year ever? If you like a fun, very humorous book, you will love Raymond and Graham Rule the School.
Boys and girls, if you love fantasy stories about elves and trolls and fairies and pixies, you're going to love this new book, Elf Realm: The Low Road. It's a wonderful story about a conflict going on in the world of elves. Did you know that elves have different clans? Some are peaceful and some are not. In this story, Matt's father, who is a developer, is clearing a lot of land to build new houses. When he clears the land, he gets very close to an underground elf kingdom. In fact, there is a cord called the Low Road that's like a tunnel underground that the elves use to travel from world to world. The elves are concerned that the humans are getting too close to their world. The humans they see as enemies. However, Matt happens to find out in a cleared field a tiny little shoe that belonged to an elf who was supposed to be married. The elves need this shoe back in order to bring peace to their kingdoms. Will the elves decide to trust Matt? Will the elves themselves decide to get along? This is a wonderful new fantasy that I know you will love. The Elf Realm: The Low Road.
In IQ, a young boy named Q and his new stepsister Angela are taking a cross-country tour across the United States with their new parents, who are rock stars. They find out that Angela's mom used to be a secret agent, and then they're thrown into a big mystery where they have to save the United States.
Boys and girls, do you love a spooky ghost story? Well, I've got the book for you. All the Lovely Bad Ones by Mary Downing Hahn is a great book about spooks and ghosts. Travis and Corey are two mischievous kids who can't go back to the summer camp they used to attend because they caused a little bit of trouble. So they go to stay with their grandmother at her Vermont bed and breakfast for the summer. There are lots of stories that this inn used to be haunted. So Travis and Corey decide that they will spook some of the guests themselves. That way more and more folks will want to come and stay at their grandmother's bed and breakfast. Well, Corey and Travis actually wake up some ghosts of children who used to live in this inn. It used to be a poorhouse for children who had nowhere else to go. And Miss Ada Jaggs was a rather unkind lady, supposed to take care of the children. Those children and Miss Ada Jaggs still haunt the Fox Hill Inn. Have Corey and Travis raised the spirits of ghosts, and now they don't know how to deal with them? If you love a spooky, spine chiller of a story, check out All the Lovely Bad Ones.
In 2-Minute Drill, Scott's a young boy who gets to a new school and doesn't have any friends. That is until Chris Conlon, the school's cool quarterback, becomes his best friend. Chris is not very good at school, so Scott helps him out with his schoolwork, while Chris helps Scott become a better football player. Find out what happens in this exciting book about 2 football players in 6th grade who try and win the state championship.
Students, a great new series called Canterwood Crest will be at your fall book fair. It focuses on a girl, Sasha Silver, who is an excellent rider. She has a horse named Charm who's with her here at boarding school. Sasha wants to do her very best and become a part of the exclusive equestrian team at Canterwood Crest. But some other girls want to make that team too, and they're willing to do any dirty trick it takes to get their place and keep Sasha off the team. How is Sasha going to focus on her riding? How is she going to keep herself focused on her goal of being part of the team and yet be on the lookout for anything that Heather and her trio of nasty friends might pull? If you love great books about horses, you'll want to check out the 2 books that are part of Canterwood Crest. Boys and girls, thanks so much for listening to Jean and Caleb and me tell you about the great books that will be at your Fall 2009 Cardinal Lane Book Fair. Tell your parents, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, come to the book fair. It's fall, a great time to read.